you have to admit that at some point we all have moments when we fear what other people think about us, especially the people who are closest to us. But we all need to come to the realization that just like we aren't always thinking about specific people, they too are not thinking about us either. We all need to understand that we're not as big of a deal that we make ourselves out to be in our mind. It's human nature to believe that we're important or that we're the center of attention. We mistakenly believe that others are concerned about our appearance. We worry that others are observing our tense behaviors. But in actuality, they're concerned about whether you and everyone else is watching and judging them. We often live our lives as though everyone around us is always observing and critiquing and assessing all the things we do at all times. I have to tell you the truth, you don't really matter. I don't intend to like seem brazen about the subject, but this ought to liberate you rather than make you feel small or unworthy. And in case it doesn't, I feel that the topic I'm about to discuss will. So, the best way that I can come up with to explain how insignificant we are in life is to talk about what happens after our death, at the funeral to be exact. So, a funeral is usually divided into two different parts or two different sections. First, you have your wake or service, and then you have your burial. So, spiritual leaders will recite passages on the meaning of life and death from their religious books at the service, while your close friends and family members or relatives, whoever, are permitted to speak briefly about the deceased. Now, although certain religions follow like a different protocol, the burial usually happens right after the funeral service. The deceased is laid to rest in the cemetery site after the body's taken out of the service. So you have your funeral service inside, and then the burial is held outside on dirt or in the grass, which means the defining aspect that determines if people go from the service to the burial is the weather. 50% of those who attend the actual funeral service will either go straight to the repast or they'll opt out of attending the burial at all and just go straight home if it happens to be pouring rain outside. That doesn't imply that those folks don't care. It just means that, like most of us, they are primarily preoccupied with their own wants and their own lives. It implies that they're more concerned with what they're doing and what they have to go through than what it is you're doing. And because it's your funeral, you're not really doing anything. So, why then would you be concerned about what other people thought of the decisions that you made during your lifetime? If you haven't done anything to hurt someone, why would you give a damn about what others think of you? If half the individuals scheduled to attend your funeral will be unable to do so due to inclement weather, why would you live your life weighed down by their judgments? Finding this knowledge was like a blast to the brain, a shock to the system. No, I don't sit here and tell you that hearing this morbid truth about funerals gave me some life altering insight, and that from then on, everything is peaches and cream. I would admit, though, that it affected my perspective. It made me take a closer look at my daily activities and determine which ones were influenced by other people's thoughts. Among other things, realizing just how little other people thought about the choices that I made led me to begin blocking out the voice in my head that says everything you do is being scrutinized by other people, because 9 times out of 10, I'm just not that important to other people for them to live their lives wondering and thinking about me and what I've got going on.